Hello, 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 and welcome this evening. I hope you're all very, very well. I wasn't going to stream tonight, and then I decided that I wanted to get some stuff painted for a terrain project that I'm hopefully working on starting this weekend and most evenings next week. So I wanted to get a little bit of a head start on some parts of that. So I thought while I was in here, I'll stream. Plus, there's a few things that I want to try out with our Patreons. So if you are in our Patreon chat, you will be aware that I posted a link to Zoom. So let me know that you can hear me a-okay, and hopefully we'll have some brave patrons who want to come on and chat all things hobby. It's been quite a busy day. This looks a bit sinister, doesn't it? It's been quite a busy day with the Warhammer community article for Curse City, which we'll come to later, and the FAQs for Middle-earth, which I've not had a proper look at because they were released whilst I was at work. And I was trying to have a nosy whilst also trying to get my job finished that I was on and get away and get home because it was absolutely freezing. I was up in the hills today. I'm just going to move my microphone a little bit closer. Hopefully that will be nice and clear for you. So yeah, so anyone who's seen the FAQs for Middle-earth today and has read them in depth or whatever, please get some notes in the chat. Let me know what sticks out, what you thought, because I've only, like I say, browsed over them. I'm going to go and have a look, hopefully on stream at some point, and also look at that new model for Curse City and anything else that you guys want to talk about whilst I hobby. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I've got in front of me, I have a sea sponge and some little different pieces of terrain. I don't know if that's a giveaway as to, let me bring that light down. I'm going to put it over there. I don't know. Giveaway as to what I'm painting. Can you see that? This will give it away, I think. So I'm trying some stone techniques. I did these last night. Did one with like a finger dabber and one with the sea sponge. These are like little pillars. And I've settled on the sea sponge. Finger dabbers are all right. I'll get some over there, show you what I mean by finger dabbers. But yeah. So we've got a few people in the Patreon chat who are saying they might join a little later, which would be cool. There's no pressure. If you feel a bit weird about coming on, it's just something that I want to try because I have something in mind for a series which I spoke to a couple of people about this week. This week that I want to do, which is quite exciting and quite fun, which involves having other people on. So this is kind of a trial run for that. So yeah, I didn't just put the link to the Zoom call out there to everybody for no other reason other than the fact that I thought, well, no one's going to want to come on and chat with me anyway, but imagine if loads of people did and then there was too many and I had to turn people away. So I'll just put it in the Patreon chat for now. So any of you patrons want to come on, use the link in the Patreon chat and join on. So I'm just going to jump in the chat. We've got a few people in already. Green Tree was in early. Hey, Green Tree. Dan's in. How's it going, Dan? Dan, the absolute monster when it comes to painting. I think he's painted a whole fellowship in about 10 minutes this week, which is amazing, and to a very, very high quality. They look awesome, buddy. Tanya's in. Welcome, Tanya. Different Gear TV. Good evening. Time to get the snacks on. Ruth is in. Hi, Ruth. Gaitan's in. Roger's in. Ian's in. Ian, yeah, I got your message. If you're about later, you want to jump on, 5-10 minutes, whatever. I'm only streaming for a couple of hours tonight. It's not going to be one of those 5-hour battle streams this evening. But if you want to jump on, please feel free. Can anyone let me know as well if the sound sync to my voice? I've had a little bit of mess about because I'm using a different camera. I don't know if you've noticed it. It should be a little bit clearer. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it should be a little bit clearer. But because I'm using a different camera, there's a lot of settings that I've got to mess around with. And syncing voice to the video is one of them. And it seems to get my voice to sync to the video when I record the footage, it's when I'm viewing it live, it's off. So I don't know what it's like for you guys viewing it again, sort of streaming live. But do let me know, and I'll have a little tinker around with it. I won't tinker around with it on stream, but I'll know if it's off or if it's not on or whatever. Dale's in. Green Trees, let me know looks and sounds good. Good man. Frederick says hello. Hey Frederick. Rubber gloves on. Yeah, I know it's not one of them streams, my mate. It's just so it's gonna be messy. I'm dabbing with paint and stuff. Glenn's in. Welcome, Glenn. Tanya says it's fun to watch the discussions around the FAQ. Some people getting a little heat. Yeah. Do you know what? I read the FAQ. There's a few the bits that I've seen, and I want to talk about it tonight because I read it and I thought I understood it. When I read it, I thought, all right, okay, fair enough. The horse thing, like with the black dart, the scenario that everyone was talking about on Facebook, and then obviously I read that stream, that thread, and I come away from it totally confused. Like, does it mean is it rules as written? Is it rules as intended? So feel free to let me know in the chat what your interpretation of these FAQs are. But I mean, overall, I was happy with. There's nothing in there that's kind of upset me or made me spit my dummy out about anything. I'm quite happy with it all, really. I think I'm pretty laid back. I think you all kind of know that now. Amon Hen, yes, Dan, it is Amon Hen. This is a very, very nice piece, which actually it's a what do they call it? I forget what they call them. A mini. It's not scene. They call it something. It's not actually wargaming terrain, but when I seen it, it's a recreation of the actual. So like the detail on it is insane, and it's a resin print. It's not like a 3D print, but the detail is insane. And the fella who sorted me out and hooked me up with these, I've become good pals with through chatting one way or the other. And I've said, this will be amazing for wargaming terrain. It's perfect scale. It's blown me away. The detail on it is crazy. I've built a couple of Amon Hens. Anyone who's been to any of the tournaments will know. I've built a couple of Amon Hens using Hearst Arts blocks, different 3D prints, and they've all been all right. I think the Hearst Arts block one was probably the best one as far as recreating a movie accuracy. But this is insane. So I'm really excited to get this. There's these parts. There's the main scene seat, etc., which I've got there, which are just been primed. I'm going to do the stone technique on these this evening throughout the stream, and I'll tackle them tomorrow. But I'm really excited to get another Amon Hen board. But this board is going to be a little bit different than the other one that I've made, and it's going to interlink with the idea that I've got is for my next few boards is I'm going to be able to push them together, and it's going to be basically the journey of the scenes in the movies. And it's going to kind of take that. So I mean, it's difficult because they've got to be gaming boards. You've got to be able to play on them, so they've got to be playable. But the idea is in my head, and I can't shift it. So that's the next thing. So I'm going to start with Fellowship of the Ring. I'm going to start with different scenes. I've got the Shire already, which I think the Shire board that I've got is pretty good. I've got 2 Shire boards actually. I think they're pretty decent and very good to play on. And then obviously we're just going to move through the different scenes of the movies all the way up to Mount Doom. It's going to be a long project. But what it means is when you come to one of my events, you're basically going to see Peter Jackson's Middle-earth traced out in gaming boards throughout the hall, which is going to be there's something I always wanted to do. I just got sidetracked doing different things. But I have a few people on board who want to help me, and it's going to be an exciting project. So keep your ears to the ground for that. Right, let's jump back in the chat. Where were we? Frederick says, free heroic combat rules, Sam, etc. Don't work when already in the same combat as second hero, Frodo, etc. Clarification, but darted mounts need their own will to resist, plus a few more things. Yeah, I've seen the thing about Sam. I think it's... Is it just Frodo that stops that? It's not all heroes, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of get it with the Frodo thing, because if you're already in a combat with Frodo, you can't move anywhere, so not sure why you'd call a heroic combat. anyway. Maybe it's just clearing that, but I know it contradicts itself, doesn't it? It says that you can in one part and then you can't in another, which is just admin error. It's not a biggie. Roger's asking. He was like me. He kind of just skimmed it, and he's asking if there's anything a Lothlorien player needs to know. Do let us know in the chat. Ruth says she doesn't have Zoom on the tablet, or she would have come on. Oh, next time, Ruth. Install it on your tablet, and we'll make it happen. It'd be very, very cool. Will says, evening lads, and he's saying, looks like your video is a second behind the audio. Okay, let me just. I know I said I wasn't going to do this live, was I? But I'm going to try one thing. Where's my mic? So if I click that. And click. What's an MS? Is MS milliseconds? How many milliseconds are in a second then? Let's try that. Does that change anything? Does that make it worse? I think that's made it worse. I think that's made it worse. I'll sort that out in a minute. Alexander says it's all right. I'll talk about the sound, I think. I'll put it back in a minute. The sound is not in sync with you. Yep. Anyone who uses OBS, Streamlabs OBS, and knows how to sort this out, please hit me up in the PMs on Facebook after this. That would be fantastic. Let's have a look where we are at. I'm here, rejoice, says Nick Gardner. Ian says, rules is intended, I think, no drama. Nick says he didn't know there was an FAQ. If they didn't make Celeborn a hero of legend, it's utter trash. The slanted Amon Hen from Weekender 2, yes. And Dan says, do want an Amon Hen set so Stu and I can play the scenario at some point this year. So your picks looks cracking. Much sanding to do. The layers look pretty tight. No sanding. It's a resin. It's a resin print. So it's a very, very, very good. It's a very, very good. I don't know what they call it. It's just a print in it. Very good print. Again, I'll try and get. Let me put my light down so you can get some decent. Not too much. Can you see that? It's actually showing up on the camera there. I'm looking at those, what look like layers. I don't think they are layers because I can't see them on the actual thing. Let me show you the CNC. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's probably the most detailed. Like I say, it wasn't intended to be wargaming terrain, but it's perfect. But yeah, the details insane. I'm not going to say too much about it because I am going to do a video which features the stuff. So I'll talk a lot more about that in the video, and you know where you can pick it up if you want to get some, or you can reach out to him. I don't know. He kind of did it to me as a favour. I don't know. You can ask him. Frederick says some rules target either the mantle or rider black darts that will wither. Therefore, the target needs its own will points. Some spells target the entire model. Therefore, both can resist blast. Yeah. I mean, is this going to be a case where we get another FAQ for an FAQ, and a lot of the spells that do target either mount or rider change to just targeting the model as a whole to sort that problem out. It kind of, I don't know. It is one of them, innit? It's not bothering me that much that I'd spit my dummy out about it, but I kind of think if Aragorn is on a horse and a wraith targets his horse and there's nothing that Aragorn can do about it, it feels a little bit off. I think he should be able to. Or maybe anyone who's got, is it the Horse Lord rule where he can use his fate? Maybe that Horse Lord, the Horse Lord rule will change where you can use the will as well or something like that. That'd be quite cool. Glyn says, speaking of SBG, my Quest of the Ringbearer Christmas present arrived today. Good stuff. Did you like it, Glyn? For me, it is the best book to date. And I hope you did like it, my friend. Let's have a look. Thomas Sherlock's in. Welcome, mate. E. Whitehouse says, my AMA Crimbo present arrived too. Merry Christmas, Glyn. So we're in February, guys. We're in February. Michael Bray's in. Welcome, mate. And Will says, your boards are gorgeous. Thanks, buddy. I hope one day me and the good Joe Halsman can come to what? What's this? Me and the good. I think you've missed the word out, but I know what you mean. Joe Halsman can come to one. I'd love to. I'd love to have you guys over. Joe's been to a few of my events. I like to think they're always sort of really good social get-togethers, and everyone has a lot of fun. I get a lot of good feedback from the events, which is really good. And yeah, I want to build on that. I want to build on that this year. I think a big chunk of this year is now going to be wrote off again, which is a shame because there's so much to do, so much I wanted to do this year. Still going to be able to do some of it because the back end of the year, I think we're going to be golden. But yeah, there's a couple of things that I wanted to do. I may have to put off till 2022, but some really exciting stuff. And I say that all the time. I've got some really exciting stuff. But yeah, keep your ears open is all I'd say. Stuff like this is a bit of a clue as to what is in store. Let's have a look. Gaethon says, speaking of board, have you made an Orthanc one already? No. I spoke to someone probably about 18 months ago. I was going to build an Orthanc, and then just the amount of time that would go into it. I'm going to sort this sync out thing. The amount of time that would go into it would just be insane. And obviously having the channel and wanting to film stuff and things like that time is very. It's a low commodity thing that I have. I don't have a lot of time. I have my own business. Do as much of the channel stuff as I can, create as much content as I can, and to take on a task like building an Orthanc to the way that I'd want to build it would just monopolise so much of my time, and everything else would suffer. So I did speak to someone a while back about 3D printing one, but the scale that I want it is. There's no way I could get it true scale to the miniatures that we play with. It just that's an impossibility. Just couldn't happen because it would end up being about 8 foot, which is silly. And the footprint of Orthanc in comparison to a human is huge. So I was going to get like somewhere in the middle, and I think the one that I was speaking to him about was going to be in parts, and overall it was going to be a display piece that I was going to have in the hallway into the studio, so that when people came in, they'd have this big Orthanc and it would look awesome. But then, because it's in segments, I could use the bottom of it and make a board around the bottom segment. So when I'm filming battle reports and things, I've got that bit. You don't need to see the tower on battle reports because you're only filming the board. And that was the plan, but the cost of it was just crazy. But that was 18 months ago, and the cost of 3D printing has lowered a lot. So I may look into it again. I do want an Orthanc board, and if I'm doing, like I said at the beginning of the video, if I'm doing the sort of journey through the scenes in boards when you come to my events, then I'm going to have to do an Orthanc board at some point. There was one that I had in mind, which was kind of a what's the word? Like a payoff of not having the Orthanc tower, and that was just doing one sort of, that was the gardens of Orthanc. And I was going to split the board in the middle, and half of it was going to be pre-Saruman turning all nasty, so it was all going to be like nice gardens, and then kind of like split down the middle, and the other half was going to be with all the orcish cranes and scaffolding and holes in the ground and trees burning and the dam and things like that. That was an idea that I had, which I still quite like that idea. I still kind of having the two contrasting views of Orthanc in one board, I think would be quite cool. So I do want to do that at some point. There's a few out there. I've seen a few people make amazing Orthancs, like really good. I think there was a fella in Canada built one from scratch, and it was just really good, really good. Glyn says, I'm waiting on AMA 2. Nathan says, your messenger pigeon didn't arrive until now. Here I am. Frederick says, Sam, Frodo, Adewine, Theoden are the same. Same for the shield bearer. The idea is that they call a combat to protect the second hero. So calling a combat when already there makes no sense. All right, okay. That seat is lovely. It is, mate. It is. I'm really happy with it. Black Darting Heroes just became so much easier. Yes, it did. It did. But I think the flip side to it is not everybody brings wraiths with Black Dart. Like it's not going to be it's not like Nulled bringing certain heroes on horses. Has it really? And Black Dart has a range. It's 12-inch range, so there's ways around it. And there'll be reasons. They're not just pluck this out of the air. That's the thing. There'll be reasons. There'll be reasons for why they've done the things they've done. Al Mullins in. Hey Al. A few music gigs I have tickets for have been pushed back a year. I'm still hopeful for some late year events. Yeah, I think late year events we're going to be all right. I think it's not going to be. Originally, I thought we were going to be sort of talking going into summer. We were going to be honky dory, and I just don't think that's the case now. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be the back end of the year, which is a real shame and pretty depressing. But it is what it is. Roger says, I need to buy a new colour so I can finish my elves. Glyn says, I just read the basic 28 scenarios. It's clearly my favourite book, but I have a little issue with some of the scenarios. In what sense, Glyn? I think there's a few things that I think you've got to look at, and you've got to think what have they done for the good of playability in the scenario. I think to make it fun for both parties to play. That I think, but yeah, let me know which ones you mean. Be a pretty good discussion point, because I think pretty much almost everyone's got Quest for the Ring Bearer. Will says it was like 2 meters tall. Yeah. Just have the bottom section with steps. Well, that was the thing, yeah. So I was gonna have it was gonna be in parts. So I was gonna have the bottom section, which was probably gonna be like a foot tall with a big footprint, and have that on a board. But then when I wasn't, because I have my boards in a board rack, so I'd be able to take that off, put my board in the board rack, then put the base of Orthanc somewhere to display, and then stick the rest of it on top. That was the plan, but the money involved was silly, like silly. And then at that time as well, 3D printing wasn't. I mean, it still isn't for me. The resin stuff, yes, that's there. The only problem with the resin stuff for me is the size of the beds on the resin printers. They're not as big as I'd like them to be for terrain printing. But what's the other? The filament printers, is that what they're called? I can't remember. But the first style 3D printers that we had, even now, just them lines, the stack lines, whatever they're called, it's just not for me. They're really hard to paint. You can't get rid of them. And I don't care how. I've had people say you can do this and you can do that and you can sand them, and it's just too much. If you're doing something that's got quite a lot of detail on it, like these things, sanding them and stuff, it's not feasible. It's not feasible. Glenn says, more like in principle, I'm going to avoid cheesy stuff. In Aragorn stand, I'm not letting Lurtz use heroic strike. Yeah, I get that. Roger says, I've 3D printed the terrain for my Legion board. I can send a picture of the Patreon chat on Sunday, Monday. I will play with a on Monday. I really like mine. Yes, let us see it. I always want to see good stuff. I think I've seen a lot of the 3D printed stuff for Star Wars Legion. In fairness, is really cool, and I think it comes across a lot better for Star Wars Legion, and like the futuristic style games. than it does for the fantasy style games that's got a lot of softer architecture and softer surfaces and curves and bends, whereas like the more futuristic stuff is a lot of straight lines and corners, and I think it works a lot better on that. But also some of the rocky stuff's quite good though as well, like the rock stalagmites or whatever they're called and things like that. Nathan Talbot says black dart should be threatening. It's fine. Tax deductor printer for work. Do you know what? I think I've said this. I've said it loads. I would love a resin 3D printer. Would love one. But I'd have to learn how to use it. There's no point me buying a 3D printer. They're not just plug and play, are they? I think a lot goes into them. I've spoke to a few people. Christian Reeves is really good with them. I know Ben got one. He also got Luke's got about 500 of them. But everyone I speak to says they're amazing, but there's a lot of work goes into them. A lot of work goes into them. You've got to learn how to use them. Right, okay, so in the chat, I didn't notice it. I do apologise, Angel, but Angel is trying to get into the Patreon chat, so I'm going to click admit and see if this works. So let's have a look. Hey! I can hear you now. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to check that everyone else can hear you as well first, though, because that would be helpful. If you can let us all know that you can hear Angel, and if you are a patron, you're in a Patreon chat and you want to jump on for a few minutes, please feel free. Angel is actually one of the people who I'm dry testing this out for, because you're going to be doing some painting with us at some point, aren't you, Angel?
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot or anything like that.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to.
Well, I've not actually said it, but I've had it. The idea that I had was, yes, everyone can hear you, which is amazing. The idea that I had was to get a few people on, Angel being one of them, and there's two other gentlemen that I'm speaking to get them on and do some videos where we try different techniques for painting, just for fun, really. So Angel's a really good painter. The other two guys are really good painters, and then there's me.
I'm all right.
Then there's me. I'll just press the button.
Your painting's really good.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right if I put it in Photoshop at first and then post it on the internet. It's not too bad. But yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. How are you anyway? You good?
Yeah, pretty good. I am, after that curry, I've now started opening a pack, this big slab of chocolate.
Nice.
Bought some Galaxy.
Oh, very nice. The best kind of chocolate. That's the best way to spend a Thursday. I had pizza tonight. I just couldn't be mithered cooking. I thought I'd have pizza. Let's have a look. This is going to be really difficult now, because not only am I controlling the stream, I'm talking to someone on Zoom, and I've got to keep up with the chat. So you can see the chat in front of you, can't you?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I honestly thought there'd be more. No, I can't see it at all. I honestly thought there'd be more people in here.
I'm gonna
because you posted it in the group, and I was just like, "What's going on?"
You're the only one. Everyone's like, "Nah, Steve, leave it, mate. It's Thursday. Wind your neck in, Steve. It's Thursday."
I thought I was missing out on the Patreon chat.
That's still not happened yet. The thing that I promised pre-Christmas. Let's have a look. I'm typing. This is great content, so just bear with me.
We don't have effect a minute.
Oh, this is difficult. Doing so much. Right, okay, let's have a look. So people are telling me to get a 3D printer and make it tax deductible for work. Ruth said yes, she can hear you. Tanya can hear you. Will says yes. Angel needs shelves of toys in her background. It's very true. I think.
Oh, so no, I have a okay. So this is that's the shelf that has, because I live in a loft room, so it's very hard. But that is the shelf that has minis. So that top one currently has lots of popcorn foam in it, and painted minis that are mostly finished. Yes. And then there's two other trays further down that have got the plastic crack and resin shame that I've still not built and painted yet. So But you know, I've still got plans to go to the next salute and fill my boots with more minis. So
What's happening? What's the plans with Salute this year? Is it what date was it penciled in for?
Last update was, I shall tell you, 13th of November.
Oh, I think that'll be fine.
So
yeah, that'll be all right. I think
yeah,
that should go ahead. Yeah, that'll definitely go ahead.
I haven't bought a ticket yet because I didn't buy one last year anyway. But that's because I usually last minute leave it anyway because it's not usually an issue. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I wonder if Tommy's judging again. He was judging last year. Well, not last year. It was the year before, wasn't it? I keep saying last year about things and nothing happened last year. It's crazy. I
know. Last year just doesn't exist.
I know. It's who was I talking to? I was talking to someone the other day, and I was saying, oh right, yeah, it was. I commented on a post in one of the Old World Facebook groups, and I was having a little bit of a rant, and I said, oh, for God's sake, it's 2020, people, get on with it. And I was like, and everyone was like, it's not, it's 2020. I was like, oh sugar, yeah, it is. It's not even 2020 anymore. Right, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason we've gone really small. Hang on a second. So what are you hobbying tonight, Angel, or are you just hanging out?
No.
You don't hobby anymore, do you?
I mean, I started doing it again, and then I mean it lasted for all of about 3 days. And I sort of gave up because I got to a point where I'm just like, okay, if I carry on, I'm going to mess it up. Yeah. So I've stopped to take a breather, and I've just not gone back to it again.
Coming on these videos to do the painting techniques will be good.
Yeah. I need to get my buzz back again. So
yeah, well, laughing at me painting will definitely do that. So Ian is going to join us. So welcome, Ian. He will pop in the chat now. Hopefully, there he is. Hey! Oh, he's got his baby with him. How cute is that? Hey man, how you doing?
I'm all right. Hopefully breastfeeding's allowed on the channel.
Chest feeding only, mate. Chest feeding.
We're all right.
How old?
Good question. Oh, how old are you now, Pickle? She was born in October.
Yeah, it was, because it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Yeah.
Coming on 4 months. That's crazy. Lockdown, baby.
You're stopping me getting my painting done, aren't you, Pickle?
Oh, it's a good excuse, mate. It's a good excuse. But she's at the painting station, which is good.
Yeah, I'm getting a used to the surroundings.
Your painting station looks like mine, except a lot neater.
Yeah, it's a writing desk I picked up off Gumtree.
Is it? It's good. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very
Shame the painting's rubbish.
It's what?
Shame my actual painting's rubbish.
Oh, your painting's all right. Your painting's all right. I think we're all. I think everyone's a bit critical of their own painting. Because Angel will say that. Angel will go, "Oh no, my painting," but Angel's a good painter.
I'm still in.
I mean, there's only one thing that I'm like, actually, I did a cracking job with, but that's pretty much it.
What was that? What was that miniature from that you painted for the competition we did a couple of years ago when Tommy was in? It was like a World War II type guy with like a satchel or something.
Yeah, that was okay. I didn't finish it.
What was that from?
I lost my. I bought it from not Broken Toad. The guys that were standing next to them when we were at that there was a show in Folkestone that had like loads of different traders and stuff, and these guys were literally right next to them. I can't remember.
It was a really
Mr.
cool
Lee's minis, maybe.
It was slightly bigger scale, wasn't it? Was it 32mm or something? I know it was cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I know it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, I need to finish him because actually I was enjoying that. I enjoyed the making the base as well, which was quite fun.
Yeah.
It didn't come out the way I was kind of intending on it coming out, but I mean it was trial and error, so it's just a bit of fun.
I want to try and get Tommy back on, but with just like the lockdown and everything, I can't. I think that was a really good competition. That competition brought people out onto the streams and onto the videos, and introduced them to the channel who never knew what Top Table was before, and then are still now like heavily invested in Top Table. Like Filippo, you remember Filippo did his Galadriel, and he posts loads of stuff on Top Table, which is great. So I want to do it again because it brought out like the hobby side rather than just gaming really well. And Tommy's just a cool guy to listen to. You could just sit and listen to him talk for hours. He's got one of them.
Yeah.
He's got one of those voices. He's like a Tibetan monk or something.
Like story time.
Yeah. Story time with Tommy.
I love that. Like when I start talking to somebody on the phone, like okay, so I don't say it to customers that I speak to, but if I speak to somebody from another branch and I'm like, God, they got such a story time, I'll tell them. I'll be like, you got such a story time voice. This is so nice. Like, tell me some more things. Say some more stuff.
Speak. Can I just ring you? Can I ring you later while you talk? Right, I'm going to jump back. I'm going to jump in the chat, see what people are saying, make sure everyone can hear us. What was the last one? Nathan, saying you do need more stuff in your background, Angel. Come on.
Yeah, but I've got the stuff in front of me, so I'm working on that more than anything else, and that's my gaming setup. So.
But you need 2 cameras for the painting thing.
I have another webcam,
nice,
which I found, but I need to set it up.
Yeah. Because I need to speak to you all actually and tell you the best way to do it. That makes life easy for me anyway. And that's the main thing, obviously. Will says, I had one of those mini egg chocolate bars the other day. Wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I'm not mad on mini eggs. I can tolerate them. They're all right. They're just like something if there's nothing else in and I look in the kids' cupboard and there's mini eggs there, I'll eat them. But I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't buy mini eggs. Do you know what I mean?
I would.
No.
I've got into baking cakes on a weekend with my other little daughter.
Yeah. I was that first lockdown, I baked loads of cakes. I've not baked a cake for ages. Yeah.
I want to make a Madeira cake. They're my favourite.
What's a Madeira cake? Is that just like a Victoria sponge cake?
It's a bit more stodgier, I guess. It's not as light as sponge cake, but I don't know what it is. But like the loaf is quite small, but I can eat the whole thing, and I'm quite happy to do so, which is probably not a good thing, but
I prefer a light cake. I like a lot of cream in my cake. I don't like too much icing. I'm really picky with cakes because I'm not a big cake eater.
I like buttercream icing.
Yes.
I don't like marzipan.
No. Oh, marzipan.
It looks cool, and you can make some cool stuff with it, but I don't like it. It don't taste nice to me.
Reminds me of old people, marzipan.
Yeah.
I think because my auntie used to bake cakes. What about you, Ian? What's your cake of choice?
There are no cakes off limits. All cakes are go. I do like carrot cake. I like a good standard chocolate sponge. Old school dinners back when you were a kid with chocolate sauce to go with it.
A slab of chocolate sponge.
Love that.
Yeah. I'm not massively into sweets. I definitely would be a 2 starter kind of guy, I think.
Oh, sorry, Steve. Someone just put Jaffa cakes in the chat, and I
love Jaffa cakes. Oh my God.
No, Jaffa. No, see that's where.
Well, technically it is.
No.
Technically it is.
I'm not into Jaffa. I'm not into orange. I'm not mad on orange. So you can call it a cake or a biscuit, whatever you want, but it's still not for me. It's not for me that. Let's have a look. Different games, and you've got to paint. I'm not sure what that was. This is what happens. You say, I forget where we're up to. Roger says, "You all have a good night. I'm going to bed now. Take care, man." And Nathan can't take you seriously, Angel. She wears more socks than your other channel's co-host.
Wait, it was obvious I was wearing socks.
I was wondering, how does he know you're wearing socks?
I know.
Did you stick your feet up or something?
I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't remember doing so.
I don't know. Well, how could Nathan knows things we don't know. Tanya says patrons be like, it's Thursday and I've not had a wash since Saturday, so I'm not coming on the Zoom. That's pretty much what it is. It's just us three don't care. Nathan says, by which I mean she's wearing the appropriate amount of socks. How do you know? Glyn says, got to get out of the campaign system and Fantasy Fellowship. Also, hello, Angels, says Glyn. Yeah.
Hi.
Check out the video. I think you already are anyway, Glyn, but check out the videos that Damien and Mr. Macklin are doing over on Battle Streams. Because they're going to do the full campaign. And I know there's a lot of effort gone into it. And I think it shows as well. They're awesome videos. Will says, mess up hobbying. How do you mean, Angel? What did you say about messing up hobbying, Angel? Can you remember?
Oh no, because the model that I was painting, that I started back on again, and I was worried I was going to mess it up because I kept going on like over and over and again with the skin, and I'm just worried I'm going to ruin it.
Oh right, okay.
So I just need to take a step back and just reassess.
Which is it?
I'm trying to achieve again.
Is it that? Was it that bust? Because you were doing was it a Guild Ball bust? Was it something?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's it.
It was looking pretty cool though.
One of the ones from Broken Toad.
Yeah, it was looking pretty cool. What brushes do you use?
Yeah, I'm chuffed with it so far. It's just.
No,
but I want to get my hands on some, to be honest, because.
What about you, Ian? What brushes? What
am I using? I've got. Whoops.
I bought some cheap ones, and then I've got like 2 really good ones. Which is it? The Windsor Newton.
Windsor Newton.
Yeah. So I use them for when I'm painting my heroes and/or captains.
Yeah. I've spent quite a lot of money on over the years on brushes, and I've got loads of really nice brushes. And when it comes to painting, I still end up using the crappy ones. I don't know why. It's like I just don't want to ruin the other ones, so I don't use them. But I do really like.
I've got loads of brushes. So I've got that little tray thing. I don't know. I got this from like a bath set thing. This is like surplus amount of brushes that I don't ever really use unless I'm scared I'm going to mess them up.
Yeah, that's nice.
In which case, then I've got this little bundle of brushes that I stick to.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Element Games, Windsor Newton, and Artis Opus.
Yeah, the Artis Opus ones are good.
And I chop and change between the lot.
Yeah. I think a lot of people put a bit too much emphasis on brushes. I think people think if they use a certain brush, they're going to become an amazing painter. And I think it's just a case of getting used to sticking with a brush, finding a brush that you feels comfortable in your hand, that you like the way the paint comes off it, and stick with it. I think is probably the best advice. And that's me giving advice that I don't take myself. And I think
as long as the tip's all right, it doesn't really matter. My very novice experience, I was using some naff brushes at the start, and I didn't realise the actual tips of the brushes weren't that great.
Yeah.
I bought a better brush, and it was a world of difference for me personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I just think you don't realise.
To be honest, when I first started, I thought the tiny brushes were worthwhile, and they're not.
Yeah, I know. I do use the small brushes for like pupils of eyes, but that's it. That's the only thing I use them for.
I might cheat with those.
Yeah, they're all right. I picked up some of the the very fine pens to dot like pupils and stuff, and they were all right, but it's not as good as paint. I'm gonna jump back in now, so everyone's talking about football. No, not talking about food. Where was we up to? Glenn? Yeah. Will says, no, we've done that. Dan says, we all ragging around painting. There's not many I've done that I'm 100% happy with. Yeah. I mean, it's funny this has come up because on my desk is a model that I painted. When did this come out? When did that Thranduil come out? Whenever it came out, it was a long time ago anyway, and I bought it and painted it up, and I was really happy with the paint job when I did it, and I still think it's all right. But I was looking on my shelves tonight, and I looked at it and I thought, I could take that a step further now. I think.
I love doing that. I mean, I've only been painting for just over a year or something, but I look back at the first models I did, the Army of the Dead, and how terrible they are now to the ones I've just painted.
Yeah.
So I'm already wanting to redo stuff.
Well, I think once you find that you enjoy painting, I think you pick up techniques and you can pick up different ways of painting quite quick. And I think your level can upgrade very rapidly. I think if you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I think settling into a style, I think, helps.
Yeah.
When you get like a little way of doing things, I think that's really helped me.
The thing I struggle with now is because a lot of my painting is to get things done quick. I struggle to slow down now. So when I'm trying to spend time on a model that I really want to paint well, I struggle to do it slowly and paint it as well as I want to paint it. I'm still in the habit of getting through the different steps quickly, and I think that my painting has suffered because of it, just because I need to get stuff painted quick for the channel and things like that. So I'm trying now to slow down, he says, whilst he's holding a sponge and rapidly painting a terrain piece on camera. But this technique is pretty good. This works pretty well for stone. It looks alright, I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, let's have a jump back in the chat then. A lot of food. Jaffa Cakes says different gear TVD. Oh, Jamaican lamb curry with coconut rice and beans for tomorrow. Reese's Pieces cheesecake for Sunday, possibly, says Glyn. Glyn's loving his cooking. I think Glyn's cooking's overtook his hobby big time. Will Rab shouts at us, chocolate sponge. Dan says, stop eating like old people, Steve. Marzipan is the work of the devil. Not one of his good works either, the bad kind. Like people who talk in the cinema. Oh, I hate that. I hate people who talk in the cinema. Saying that, I hate people who talk at home when you try to watch a film. There's nothing more annoying. Will says,
well, they start asking you questions.
What's he doing? Why has he said that? What's he doing there? Where's he got that gun from? Oh, shut up.
I'm literally watching the film with you.
I know as much as you do. That's what I know as much as you do. I've been watching the Harry Potter films with my two girls, and like my youngest, the 6-year-old, she just talks. Will says, God's sake, I'm on a diet at the minute for the next few weeks, and you're all talking about curry, galaxy, and pizza and cake. Stop it. And then Glenn says, you're not into anything fruity, Steve. No, I'm not mad on fruit, mate. Fruit's not for me. It's not for me. Never liked it as a kid. And I've tried to like it. I've tried to like fruit. You know, I've got desserts that are fruit-based, and I don't know. I just don't see the point in it. There's no meat in it. So I'm not into it. I like meaty stuff.
So would your perfect dessert be a meat dessert?
Yeah, a meat cheesecake.
Then maybe you should try making the trifle that Rachel made in Friends.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I like I said, I would happily like have a main, have a starter, have a main, and then have another starter for my dessert all day. Have pate for my dessert or something like that. But yeah,
like garlic bread. Oh, love a bit of garlic bread.
Yeah, dripping in garlic butter. Stink for a week after it. Will says Nathan's into feet. LOL. And Nathan says we had a brief flash when you were adjusting. I'm not outside.
You'd have a troublesome time getting on the roof.
It depends how determined he is, I suppose. Frederick says, R.I.P. B-Sound chat sucks. Glenn says hi to Ian and the little one and waves. Scott Newman is in. He says, evening folks. Will says, are the Winsor & Newton brushes really a big deal? I need to get some nicer brushes and some soap too. From my point of view, the Winsor & Newton brushes are nice. I thought they were like out there on their own. About 2 years ago, I thought they're like the best of the best, the Rolls Royce. But through trying different brushes, and mainly the Element Games own brand Regiment brushes and the Artist Opus stuff, I think what I'd say is go and try because there's brushes I prefer to Winsor and Newton. I know, Dan, I know you're in the chat, mate. He's already said it. I was going to ask you to say the ones you were talking about the other week, and it's Rosemary and Co. And Dan speaks very highly of those Rosemary and Co. brushes.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about them.
Yeah, so I might give them a go, and then if I don't like them, I can blame Dan. So, it's win-win. I'll ask him for a refund. So yeah, what do you think of the Winsor and Newton then, Ian? As a newish painter, Ian, and you've gone to, do you find that it's much not? I don't want to use the word easier, but do you feel more comfortable painting with a Winsor and Newton over, like, say for example, a standard Games Workshop brush?
For me personally, yes. I found it's just the flow off the brush is loads better.
Yeah.
But I've not used anything else. I don't have another barometer, but compared to the absolute crap one I was using, yes, but it still doesn't make me necessarily a better painter. You're only as good as you can paint at the end of the day. It just makes it a little bit easier, is my personal take on it.
Yeah. I think everyone will, like I said before, everyone will find a brand or a type of brush that just suits their style. I think what works for one person, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
I probably will buy the Element Games ones at some point.
The Regiment, the Regiment brushes, they're amazing. Yeah. It was Tommy who got me onto them. I thought he was winding me up. He was like, "I get some of these," and I was like, "No, they're just like the cheapy ones. I want some of these Artis Opus ones." And he's like, "No, I'll get one of these." I was like, "No, I don't want one." And he bought me two, and I've still got them there, and they've still got a good tip. And they're amazing for detail. They're really good.
Oh, what your man does from Artis Opus with his dry brush is amazing.
Amazing and really annoying at the same time.
Yeah.
No, he's a really good painter. He's a really good painter, and his airbrushing skills aren't too shabby either.
I've not got an airbrush, and I'm toying with the idea of asking that for a birthday present, but I just don't see myself using it, in all honesty.
I don't think they're for everyone. Depends what you want to do.
I bought myself one.
Have you used it? Have you used it?
Once, when I got a lesson from somebody that goes to the gaming club to teach me how to use it. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. And it's not seen the light of day since. So it's just, I prefer doing what I know because I'm unfamiliar with it. I think it's a bit, and also I need to set it up and have it set up. And right now I don't really have the space for it hobby wise. So I think I can live without it for now. And then once I've got more space, I can then set it up properly and have a dedicated area for it. I only spent 170 quid for the airbrush and the compressor total, so it's not too bad.
What airbrush was it you got? Can you remember?
I think it's one of the Badger ones, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Hang on, it's under the desk. I'll find it.
Airbrushes are good, Ian. I like them, but it depends. If you're the type kind of person who paints one model at a time, I probably would suggest against investing in an expensive airbrush. But if you're army painting, just to get your base colours down, your priming done quick, they're brilliant. And I use mine for terrain as well.
I only spent the money I did because it was a deal.
So she spends.
I've kind of gone through the pain of doing all my Moranans now.
Why isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a Badger.
Yeah. Which one is it? I've got a Badger Patriot.
Yeah, so do I.
Is it a Badger Patriot? Yeah. It's got it's
Patriot 105.
Yeah, it's the cup.
Yeah.
The cup fit. Yeah, 105. Same as mine. Same as that one. I've got that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's like my workhorse. American made, built to last. But then my fancy one is Harder Steinbeck Colour Paint Infinity one, which I love.
Oh, the Infinity ones,
Very nice, very nice. For like fine work, they're brilliant. But yeah, I'd highly recommend getting one in if you're gonna paint armies. Like I say, just for priming. I use it mainly for priming. It's dead quick. You get a nice even coat. And then if I'm painting anything that's got armor on it, I can do the whole lot in metallic, quick. If you're doing zenithal, so you know you're going to be doing glazes and things like that. They're great. But what I would suggest is if you've never used one before, is buy a cheap one, a crappy one off eBay, and just play around with it. See what you think, because you will ruin your first airbrush. You'll ruin it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you'll ruin
Yeah,
it.
I would primarily be using it for burst coat and zenithal.
Yeah. You'll ruin your first airbrush. So get a cheap, nasty one, and then when you feel comfortable with it, go up from there. I say this in battle streams and it never happens, but I'm gonna try and fly through the chat because there is a couple of things that I want to try and talk about and having you guys on is great. I keep having to check the Zoom, make sure no one else is trying to get in, but I think they're leaving it to us. Where are we? Windsor Unit brushes. Oh yeah, we've done that one. Dan says a decent light is more important than brushes. I tend to agree, especially because my eyesight's going. But I love a Rosemary & Co. Nathan says a good painter is probably better with a crap brush than a crap painter with a good brush. I'm still working through my Citadel stockpile. Al says I used a Micron pen for my Captain Rex for the helmet details. Work well. That's what I bought. They're in my other pot over there.
On that light point, I bought a light off Ben, and the difference that made is amazing.
Pull your light down. Hey.
That bad boy, yeah.
Same as mine.
Honestly, yeah. That it's opened up painting at night time because the crappy light I had before just wasn't cutting the mustard.
Yeah, you do need a good light. You do need a good, not one of them moody lights.
I need to up my light game then.
Yeah, that light game in the background's just it's a poor light game. That.
Well, no, I've got a lamp, but the problem is that it's not. See, I did have a decent light similar to those, but unfortunately, John's got it. So,
do you know what you need?
Yeah,
a harshly written email. That's what you need.
No.
Give me my lamp back.
To be fair, he did buy it at a fair, so
well.
You know, it's only fair that he got to keep it.
Well, it's an excuse to buy a new one. Every cloud.
Yes.
And all
that. Yeah.
So where were we up to? Oh yes, Daniel Padilla says, "Hi everyone. Hope everyone is well. Hope you are well too, Daniel. Welcome." Nathan says he hates people who talk. I hope not in general, and you mean just when you're watching movies, Nathan. Otherwise, live streams aren't for you, my friend. Glyn says, guilty as charged. Cooking is far more stress-free. Yeah, it's a stress reliever, I think. Dan says, that's what the cheese board is for, Steve. A second starter. That's true. That is very true. Cheese is another thing that, when I was younger, like when I was in my 20s, I was never into cheese. I just didn't get it. I just thought it was like really I kind of disliked it. I think I was like, it stinks. Why would you want cheese when you can have meat? And
it's awesome with a bottle of red wine.
But I love cheese now. Love it. I could just sit and eat cheese and crackers like all night. I love it. Different Gear TV. Cold hot dog with double cream. Now that is just wrong, my friend, on many levels. Nathan says he's not sure how he feels that Angel actually looked out the window to check he wasn't there. Dan says Rosemary & Co. Series 33. They're my go-to. Dan, do us a favour, mate. Send me a link because I have looked on the Rosemary & Co. website and it's probably just me, but I didn't find it easy to navigate, if you know what I mean. If you could send me a link to them exact brushes, I'd be muchly appreciative. Tanya says, I need some new dry brushes. I always harp on about these Artis Opus Series D. They are amazing. Best dry brushes I've ever used, and I've tried a lot, and I've tried the makeup brushes and all that malarkey, but those are something special. And like Ian mentioned, if you go and check out Artis Opus YouTube channel and see what Byron does with those brushes on models, it'll just knock your socks off. Dan says best thing for using an airbrush is he always puts why are you putting words in like this that I can't say on a Thursday evening? Graduating to airbrush varnishes. Is that right? Go on, Angel. Have I said that right? Even if you don't use
Graduating.
Graduating. Even if you don't use it for anything else, it's worth it.
I think he means graduating.
Graduating. So he spelt it wrong. So come on down. But yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Glenn says, I looked out the window too, Nathan, though I was expecting to see pigs flying as Steve is painting on stream. I mean, you could call it painting. I'd call it dabbing paint on resin with a sponge. So it's up to you. I'll take painting. Dan says he uses a harder and Steinbeck there. Ultra is a really good starter brush, but get the 2-in-1 as a 0.2 needle is too small for most stuff. 0.4 with lower PSI is best shout. Yeah, yeah. I think people that's a mistake that people make with airbrushes. They think, oh, I can do uber fine. I can paint eyes, with a smaller needle, but it's just not true. You won't notice that much difference. It'll just be a lot harder to use. Scott Newman says, what is everyone painting tonight? I am painting terrain from Am and Hen. Angel's not painting because she's give up on painting, so that's like part of our job. We've got to get her back painting again.
I haven't given up.
Ian's not painting anything because he's feeding the baby. He's multitasking.
There is Theoden there though.
Is that Theoden?
Yeah,
nice.
I kind of screwed his face up. I need to revisit it.
Nice, great model. Let us know in the chat if you guys are hobbying. Let us know what you're doing. Will says he has the exact same light as well. Daylight desk lamps are they are the noise. James Coleman says, guys, those lights are ace. Any chance of a link? I can't even remember what they're bloody called. I got the link off Ben as well. I can't remember. I'll dig it out for you, mate, and I'll put it in the Facebook group. They're quite expensive though. I won't lie. People are talking about desk lamps. Right. Okay. I'm going to ask you two. I'm not sure if you are. How excited are you for the new Warhammer Quest, Curse City?
Massively.
I like your style, Ian. Angel, you don't look too.
I just want the models.
Yeah, the models are cool. Did you?
I just want the models. I don't care about the game.
I'm excited for the game as well, but the models are cool. I've wanted because I've wanted to play Mordheim so much for so long, and not been able to. Got the game, got the rules, got models. There's a few people who play it at Element Games, but I'm also at the same time worried of playing it and it not being how I remember it, not being as good as I remember it, because it's a very old game. So I'm excited for this because I think it's going to be right, sort of that same sort of vibe. Did you play Mordheim, Ian?
I didn't. I'm a Hero Quest boy though, so that's where my my kind of attraction's coming from, and I'd like the concept of doing a bit of dungeon crawling as a secondary game to SPG. Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. It's the kind of game when we're allowed. You know what I mean? You can get together, a few beers, pizza, sit around a table, and just have a bit of a giggle with it. Yeah, I just really like it. Did you see the new model that they announced today?
Yeah. I really like the skeletons they brought out the other day. I just like the poses of the heads and that kind of that old school Ray Harryhausen feel to a skeleton look. I thought that's really cool.
No, I know what you mean. They have got that really old school vibe, but at the same time, like modern at the same time. I really like the way what they've done with them. Well, I'm 100% getting it. 100% getting it. 100% painting it. Angel's going to paint some of it, aren't you, Angel?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
I'm up for a night at Element Games if anyone wants to do a bit of a retro.
I'm down. We've got someone else who's going to join us. Dwellin from the Patreon chat is also going to join us, so I will let him in the room now. Tell you what, it's proper party now, isn't it? Proper party. Has he come on?
We just need the booze now.
Oh, don't. On a Thursday. Got work tomorrow. Work tomorrow.
Yeah, same. 5 a.m. start. Woo.
I think Dwelling as I don't know how long he's been sat there, so I'm just gonna. Angel? Can you drop him a message? Oh, there. Hey, welcome, mate. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you good? That is a solid beard, my friend.
Feel distinctly unkempt right now.
Yeah. Dwelling by name, dwelling by nature. That's cool, man. How you doing? You good?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good. Are you hobbying or?
I am.
Nice.
Playing with a siege now.
That's cool, man. I like it. I'm just going to check everyone. Can everyone hear Dwelling as well? Dwelling, what's your real name? I feel weird. Rich, I feel weird calling you. I feel like you're about to headbutt me or something.
Yeah, that's Rich.
Good stuff. Oh, hang on. Here we go. I've missed the chat. Has just gone from nothing to jump. Oh, to talk about lamps. Alexander's finishing Isildur. Really don't like the character. I quite like Isildur. Daniel says building some Finecast Urukai crossbows and learning firsthand of the troubles of pesky Flash Finecast has. Finecast has got its negatives, it's got its positives, I think. To chop it up and convert it, it's amazing, but yeah, sometimes it can be a pig. Scott Newman's painting Easterlings using the Top Table Gaming Guide. Love the Wazdaka Red and Wild Rider Red. Great shout of highlights on the cloth. Thank you, my man. Sometimes I come up with these little pearls of wisdom every now and again. Once every few years. You got to keep listening though, and you get them. I'll have to join in the Zoom next time when I've got more time and when I'm actually hobbying. Yeah, for sure, mate. I'm going to do a Patreon Zoom chat where we can all just hang out anyway. I will sort that out. It's just time. Where are we? How do I get into the Patreon chat after submitting support? Of course. Yeah. If you're a patron and you're not already in the chat, drop me a PM. But I think everybody should be in. Dan's painting Gandalf. Yep, they can hear you, Rich. That's good. I thought it was going to be like Blackstone, Silver Tower, which I did not like. Models are 10 out of 10. Plus rumoured cost of $300. I really think that's clickbait. Like people are saying it's going to be $300. That's come from nowhere. I've done my research. That's come from nowhere. That's come from one YouTuber in the States who said it, which seems the sole intention of that was just to get clicks, which is fair enough. People do it. I don't have a problem with people clickbaiting stuff. But yeah, I can't see a set being. So what would that be? What would $300 be in pounds? Like about 200 quid? 220? What is it? What's the exchange rate these days? Do we know? I'm looking at you, Ian.
No,
Ian, you normally come up with these belters.
I do, but you've put me on the spot when I'm live and I've crumbled. What I'd say is look at what the price of Blackstone Fortress was and then maybe add some inflation to that from when it was released. That'd be more accurate than random.
I think, but was Blackstone Fortress, I think it was 160, wasn't it? Got a feeling it was 160. I reckon it's going to be about 165, 170. I reckon. People are going, oh, but Necromunda was 200 quid. But Necromunda was just full of terrain, like loads of plastic in there. Tons of it. So I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that. Will says, Rich question, how do you shave your head? What shaver do you use? The one I use doesn't get as close to the skin as yours seems to.
Normally I'd razor it, but tonight
just for the stream.
No, I didn't know about this until about 10 minutes ago.
Neither did I, mate.
It's called the One Blade.
All right.
It's an electric one that does a pretty close shave.
You've let me down there. I thought you were going to say, well, what I do is I sharpen my axe on a saber tooth. And,
Yeah.
That was you could have went anywhere with that, Rich. You could have went anywhere with that. Well, there you go. Nathan,
I'm too scared to cut my hair because I think I'll end up looking like a convict or something, and I've got work calls to do. So now I'm just looking like a tramp. I don't know what to do.
Just put it in a pony, mate. Just put it in a pony.
Go with the muzzle.
Use
Your
Richie's
hair's long
axe.
enough to
Use
do it.
Richie's axe and just whip it off.
This is actually my lockdown cut.
It looks good, man. It looks good.
You can get away with that going in.
I don't think I've got a head for a mohawk. I think I'd look like I've got something wrong with me.
Not.
Anyway, Rob Snape says, rebuilding after stripping my Ultramarine second company, 2.5 tactical squads left. I wish someone would have told younger me to get rid of sprue and mould lines. Yeah. I rarely revisit stuff. I said that after me just saying about 10 minutes ago that I was revisiting Thranduil, but that's an exception because it's my favourite model. But once I've done something, I've done it. I just don't have time to go back and mess about with stuff. I don't know about you guys.
Rich, people are asking you to turn your volume up, by the way, mate.
Can you
See you away.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
It might be because you're on air. Are you on air, earpods?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just the mic's not as good. I think
Just shout.
People can hear you.
That better.
It's the same to me, but depends what the crowds want, Rich. Depends what the crowds want.
I'll shout louder if you need me to.
That's better.
Yeah,
that's
better. Yeah. Will says
Cool.
he thinks it's going to be just over 200 quid. R. James Coleman says he about 218 quid is $300 US, 200 quid. I'd be surprised if it costs more than 130. They've never gone that high for a standalone box. Wasn't Blackstone Fortress 160 though, Dan? Or have I got that info from? I'm sure it was 160. It could be wrong. It's been known. But yeah, I'm sure it could. I'm going to just see if I can... For anyone who's not seen, let me just click this up now. Let me see if this works. If this works now, this is going to be magic. Hang on a second. Here we go. Boom. Check that out. Right, so everyone at home now should be able to see the Warhammer community page. You can still hear us four talking, by the way, so feel free to chip in. But yeah, the model that was announced today it looks like Sylvaneth, isn't it?
I don't think it's come up, Steve. There's nothing on my YouTube.
Yeah, because you're like...
Oh, it's come up there.
You're about 30 seconds behind.
Oh, I'm confused. I'm in an alternate universe.
You get used to it, mate. You get used to it. So when you're watching YouTube, that's what everyone else sees 30 seconds behind. But yeah, just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
just go with it. But yeah, it's a really nice model. Really nice model. I like it a lot. I'm not sure about the horns though. I'll be honest. The horns don't really do it for me, but everything else I like. Are the horns? Are they really her horns, or is that a headpiece? I don't know the background on Sylvaneth and stuff like that. Do you know? You guys know?
Not my area.
What about you, Angel? You're pretty clued up on the Warhammer world, aren't you?
I lost interest in Warhammer. I lost interest in Warhammer when it went Age of Sigma.
Yeah, I'm not. Age of Sigma is not really. Yeah, it didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, Age of Sigma killed it for me.
It was a really weird decision. I'm not going to get onto that now because I mean we're probably the least qualified people. It sounds like to talk about why they did it and stuff like that.
But bring back Old World,
which is coming. Yeah.
Which is coming.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over that as well.
That's going to be expensive.
Yeah. It's going to be expensive.
But you're saying about repainting old models. That's probably what's going to happen. Lots of people are going to pick up their old armies, aren't they?
If they're compatible.
Okay.
If they're compatible. I mean, yeah. The thing I'm looking forward to is what they're going to be able to do with it, because what they can do now, like with plastics, compared to you know, like plutonium plastics now, they could just like work wonders with. I'm actually like impressed with myself here, the amount of painting that I'm doing on stream. This is crazy stuff.
What do you think the old world's going to be? Do you think it's going to be another rank and flank game?
I think it should be.
Yeah,
I expect it to be, but
I think it will.
It's not confirmed.
I think it will be because they'll want. I think they'll want to appease all the people that they upset. I think a lot of the people that they upset went off to other rank and file games and left Games Workshop. You know, pretty bitter. And there's massive communities there for what's the Mantic one called?
Kings of War.
Kings of War. There's massive Kings of War community that were old Warhammer Fantasy Battle players, and I think Games Workshop will want them back. They'll want them spending money with them, so I think they'll do something to please them. But I think we'll get a lot of spin-offs from it. So I think Mordheim will definitely get revisited, or you know, of that ilk, like a skirmish type game. Because again, Frostgrave has got a massive community, and Frostgrave is pretty loosely based on like Mordheim. It's that kind of game. So yeah, I think we'll get a lot of spin-offs of it.
That model's actually really nice, you know.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I like it. And I'm not really into stuff like that, but
I'd quite happily buy that and paint that.
Well, you might not have to, because I might have to send you mine, and then you can paint that, Angel.
That's fine. Yeah. You can do that.
Because I'm just not going to have time to...
To be fair, that's why I started commission painting in the first place.
Well, there you go. You see? There you go.
Just so I could paint shit that nobody else wanted to paint.
Well, here's like so when Blackstone Fortress came out, which is basically the 40k version of this game that's coming out that we're talking about. I got it. We bought it on the channel with full intention of having it on the channel, but we spent that long painting it because we didn't want to have it on the channel unpainted. We spent that long painting it. By the time we'd painted it, like the buzz had died off. It was gone. So yeah, I want to try to get a few people, just be dead cheeky, you know, as a YouTuber, and say, can you paint my models for me? And I'm going to buy the box and try and get people to paint it. But then obviously when I've filmed all the content that I want to film with it, is they get to keep the models and do it that way. I think that's going to be the only way that I can get it painted in time. There's only so much one man can do.
Failing that, people in Manchester can bring their painted models along.
Yeah.
Way around it.
There seems to be already, like, are you in any of the Curse City Facebook groups, Ian?
No, I was in the Warhammer Old World, but I left that one. It was all a bit too many trumpets and skeleton things that were just like, it's not funny.
Yeah, I know. Well, there is. There's a couple of Curse City groups now. And they're quite, because they're still quite small. They're all right. Do you know what I mean? People actually have conversations, and it's not just like Meme City. And yeah, it's not too bad.
I'll pop a link in the thing. I might join one. Yeah.
I'm
on the hype train for that. I'll be honest.
I'll invite you to. I think I'm in 2, so I'll invite you to the ones that I'm in.
Cool.
But they're all right. It's nice to see. If I miss anything, then you know someone else picks up on it.
I mean, I'm with you guys. I've got zero interest in Age of Sigmar personally, but there's something about this Warhammer quest that the aesthetics I really like. That looks sweet, does it?
Well, it's a bit of a precursor to Old World coming back, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It seems like a bridge kind of. Yeah.
Well, they did. A lot of the Blackstone Fortress models are usable in 40k, aren't they? You can use them in 40k, so I think they'll do a similar thing, like the models that are in this set and the models that come out for the expansions and things. It's probably the kind of thing we can look forward to seeing in the Old World releases, I reckon. But, yeah.
And it looks like it'll be something that'll be around for a long time as well, because you know the map they've shown, it looks like there's going to be lots of expansions to the base game and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I think it's got at least a 2 or 3 year sort of support lifespan, and then obviously it'll be like Blackstone Fortress. Blackstone Fortress has got a massive following, and still has. You know, and people are kind of going off and doing their own thing with it now.
So it makes that price, say if it is 200 quid for argument's sake, it makes it a lot more palatable if you're getting longevity, which I think you will on this, because I think it's going to be a pretty popular product.
Yeah. Well, like I say, the only thing I can go off is the Blackstone Fortress box, and the stuff that you got in the Blackstone Fortress box. I think that box was well worth the money, and I thought it was 160. I'll see if Dan has corrected me.
It's 95 now, but one edition was 175 quid on release.
Yeah. So Wood Elf. The horns are a headdress, like a circlet. Oh, good stuff, because that would have freaked me out a little bit. Antlers is a sign of the Kronos, god of the hunt. Will Rab says Old World, yeah boy. And Tanya says the Old World game will the Old World game be 28 mil or something different? The answer to that is we don't know, but I think it will be. I think it will be in line with everything else, because that's it's no secret Games Workshop are doing very well out of selling models of that scale at the moment.
It'll be the wrong thing if it's not 28 mil.
Yeah. And again, I think they'll want things to tie in, so they'll want it to tie in that they'll have models that you can use in different games of theirs. So I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Glenn says, "Oh, I've done that. It's just jumped again." Dan says, "I'll paint the Witch Hunter for you, Steve. You can raffle it after if you want, as I'll have my own box." Ooh, Dan, I might take you up on that. If there's one model that I'd want to paint myself, it would be the Witch Hunter. That was the thing that got my juices flowing. But in the spirit of community, and because Dan's a pretty awesome painter, I think I might have to take you up on that, Dan, and get you to paint it. That'd be cool.
I really like that figure, actually. I think that's actually my favourite one.
The new one?
The Witch Hunter,
yeah,
the first one.
It's class. It's just got Mordheim written all over it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, we'll get on there. So, Angel, what's your hobby plans, seeing as you've been out of the loop for so long? Come on. Make some commitments now. In front of me, Ian, and Rich, and we'll hold you to it. We'll make sure that you stick to it. And if you don't, we'll barrack you till you get back at the
I don't know. There's these models that I think they were from Dark Star Miniature that I want to get out and paint, because they're kind of wacky and different, and I like it because it's different from the standard humdrum.
Yeah.
So I might whip them out and give them a go. There's these like 3 clown faces that I really wanted to give it a try and paint them up really nicely and make them look a bit haunty. But yeah, I need to commit to something. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think.
But then that's why I asked about the Lord of the Rings figures as well, because I think I need to get some of those and give it a practice. Because
you didn't remind me, did you?
I can see that being a game I can play.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot. Sorry.
I'll send them Thorin's company. I think there's one missing from the company, but I'm sure someone in the group will be able to dig it. I'm not sure which one it is.
I mean, that's not bad at all.
But I'll send them to you, and I've got some spare Fellowship stuff as well. But if it gets you painted, Angel, it's good. Right.
I know you need to.
I'm going to wash my sponge off now. Let's have a look. I'm going to show off. See what we can show off. Let me get that on there. Can people see it? I never know where to put my light.
Ah.
And you've got to get your face out of it, otherwise my camera zooms in on my face. Does that look like stone?
Oh, that's cool.
What is it?
It's a stone head. So I've got that. I've got like these.
That's cool. I like that.
Things. Too bright in it. And then the pillars.
Nice.
So I've got them done. I need to give them a wash, and then got this all slots together. Like that. Scared of doing this bit though. It's the big bit in it. I'm gonna have a break. I've done way too much painting for a stream. Getting a bit dizzy. I'm a bit dizzy doing it. Right, let's have a look. So, chat's gone a bit quiet. Come on, people, let us know what you're painting. What time is it now? It's 10 o'clock. We'll do another half hour. I'm all right for half an hour. You guys all right for half an hour?
Yeah, I should be all right. I have to go drop the little one off.
Yeah.
We'll do another half hour.
Yeah.
My screen is... You know when I get notifications on Facebook and WhatsApp and you can hear it ping, does it come through? Can you guys hear it?
No.
Good.
I haven't heard anything.
That's it. Oh.
Alan, what are you building there, mate? What is that? It looks like a miniature raft.
Oh,
Is it coffee
it's
stirrers?
a sea tower.
Is it coffee stirrers?
Yeah, amongst other things. Yeah. So it's balancing at the minute, so I would show you.
I need. You know what I need? I need a bigger desk that I can hobby at and stream at the same time. Like I've got this little space now on my desk that's probably 8 inches by 6 inches, which is where all my stuff is, and then everything else is keyboards, mouse, mic, paint, you name it.
Oh, Steve, just the chat can hear your Facebook stuff.
Oh, they can hear it. Oh, flipping it. Sorry, guys. Right, let me try and mute some of it then. I think my WhatsApp's muted. I don't think you should be able to hear that. That should do it. That should do it. That's really annoying, isn't it then? Sorry, guys. Boromir White Tower. Will's working on. Do you know what? I can jump in the chat. Where have you chucked it? Is it on the page or in the chat? I'm having a look in the Patreon chat. It's not there. It must be on the page. Right, let me find... Oh, Ben's posted a link. It's oh no. He's posted the wrong one, Angel.
Right?
Alright.
What'd I do?
You broke it. You broke it, Angel.
I didn't. I promise.
Angel.
Right, get that one. There we go.
I've lost a model.
That's not good. That's not good. Let's have a look. This is bad, isn't it? I can't find my... Oh, there it is. Right, okay. No, sometimes... Do you ever try to do the simplest task sometimes and your brain just says, nope. I'm not gonna work out how you do this.
That comes with age, Steve.
Yeah, mate. Tell me about it. I was hoping no one would point that out, Ian. So yeah, thanks for that, mate.
It's all right. I'd have joined.
Where are we?
There you go, Ian. It's a bit rickety at the minute. It's going to be
There we go. Is it going to be a siege tower?
Siege tower, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So here's one I made about 15 years ago.
Yeah. Solid effort. Thought
I'd make a bigger one.
What glue do you use for your coffee stirrers? Do you use super glue or do you use hot glue gun?
I'm using a combination of super glue that I want to stick straight away and then the PVA to...
After.
Just for the other stuff that doesn't need to structurally hold it all straight away.
Do you know? I heard, and I've not tried it. I've heard because super glue is great for, like you say, like sticks instantly, like happy days, but it can still be quite brittle. I've heard. Is it what's the powder you use in the kitchen?
Bicarbonate of
soda. Apparently, if you sprinkle bicarbonate of soda on super glue, it sets like cement.
Oh, well, like that. You can use bicarbonate of soda for anything.
Yeah. Apparently, so put your super glue on and then sprinkle bicarbonate of soda on, and it's like cement. It's like stronger. It's like 10 times the strength of normal super glue. Apparently.
Really?
Apparently, I've never tried it, but apparently.
Yeah.
Does it involve a trip to the hospital?
Easier to get mitre fixed.
Stop trying to sell things from your works, Angel. Oh, you think you'll find we do a line of mitre fix? It's
only £7.
I use mitre fix, to be fair. It's great stuff.
It looks like most of this one was.
I like it.
No nails.
No nails.
By the look of it.
So I found the Lord of the Rings minis that I bought a while back.
Are the Fellowship models, or are they just like randoms?
No, I've got the Nazgul of Dol Guldur, even, and Sauron.
I think did you buy them at an Ardacon?
Nope, I bought them at Horus Heresy Weekender.
Ah, right, okay. They're great models, though, them.
I'd gone along. Oh, can't get this back in. Hang on.
Glyn says he's going to paint Eomer, King of the Dead and the Heralds, a Ranger Faramir, and Warden's Gondor when he's in the mood. Mr. Coleman's painting Eowyn from Defenders of Helm's Deep set. It's a good Eowyn, that. Will Rab, where did you post your Boromir? Let me know. Tag me in the post, and I'll get it up on screen. We can have a look at it. If you are painting whilst we're on the stream, like I said, we're going to do another bit. We'll stay on for a little bit, and then I'll get it up on screen. We can have a look. I
gotta say that the quality of the paint jobs in the group is just outstanding, and it's daunting when I look at this stuff.
Did you see that them giants that I think it's a lad from, he's either Italian or Spanish. Them giants were just insane. I was just scrolling through Facebook and I seen them in another group, and I thought I'm gonna have to share them on Top Table. And he's joined now, thankfully. He started posting more stuff, but his stuff's amazing. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes when you're painting away and you think you're doing a good job, and then someone posts something on Facebook and you look at it and you just go, oh,
in the bin.
Effing rubbish.
Paint envy. But it's the same in the there's a battle streams that there's loads of people like painting like the older models, like the Hobbits, from us doing the streams, the fortnightly streams. I'm gonna take this off now because my hand's getting a bit sweaty. It's minging. Just seeing like the older models being painted is great. The older Lord of the Rings models are fantastic. The Fellowship models are great. I really detest the plastic ones. I just hate them. Don't like them at all. But the old metal ones are great. So Angel, we fully expect I'm going to give you till the end of March to see at least 2 fully painted Lord of the Rings miniatures. 2 of them by the end of March.
2.
Yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it, lads?
Okay.
Yeah, that's doable.
By the end of March.
Okay.
We've got like 6 weeks. I'm gonna get them in the post this weekend. So you'll have them Monday, Tuesday. If you want, I'll even prime them for you.
Okay.
I'll prime them. Do you prefer to paint up?
You don't have. Oh, actually, you might need to do that. I don't have any primer.
Oh, there you go. Do you paint up
that's
black
fine.
or white?
I haven't bought any primer. That's the one thing I forgot.
So the excuses are starting already.
Either works actually.
Yeah. To be fair, I go with grey. I go with grey, like a dark grey. I like a dark grey primer. or dark brown?
Oh, you know what I like? I like the Halford's grey primer. That stuff's good.
I don't think I've got other. I might have. Hang on, 1 minute. No, white I've got. I've got Halford's white. I don't have Halford's grey. Is it a light grey? Is it a dark grey? What kind of grey is it?
It looks like it's really silly because it's like the same colour as the plastic minis,
it's like
but
like Mechanicus standard.
you can tell you've got it on there because it goes slightly matte.
Yeah. I'll prime them.
Yeah,
I'll prime them grey.
Either would be fine.
Yeah, I'll prime them grey before I send them. Then
I need to go to Halfords and actually go and buy some.
I'll do all the work. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
I'll put all the graft in.
Thanks.
James Hogg says managed to get most.
So Sauron only comes in 2 parts.
Which Sauron is it? Is it the Necromancer Sauron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it metal or finecast?
I've not opened this since I bought it. I've had this at least 2 years.
Is it finecast or
metal?
Ooh, yeah, good luck with that.
Metal.
Oh yeah, it's Necromancer. Yeah. It's a cool model. It's tough in metal though to get together. James Hogg says he's managed to make the most of a dry day and get 2 Star Wars Legion armies sprayed up and ready to knuckle down and paint. Which armies are you painting, James? Do let us know. Let's have a look. And Will says he's uploaded. Where? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Has he tagged me in it? Yes, you have, Will. Nice eyes, mate. Let me get this on. You guys ain't going to be able to see this, but you will be able to see it in about 20 seconds on YouTube. Do you like my new thingies, by the way? My little animations and stuff.
Yes.
Pretty cool, aren't they? Let me zoom.
Is this via Twitch, is it? Or?
No, it's just on YouTube.
How did Matthew Derbyshire get his name as next to a love heart?
I can't tell you that secret, mate.
Because you don't know.
No, I think that's the last person that follows me on Facebook. So whoever I think, because it's a love heart, and I think the star is the last person who subscribed. So when someone subscribed, it comes up. I'm not sure why Matthew Derbyshire's name is still there from last time. You're asking someone who is like the opposite of tech savvy. I just drag and drop me, mate. I'm a drag and drop kind of guy. But yeah, we're looking at Will's Boromir, which is a very cool model. It's just super cool. The eyes look awesome, Will. Really good. Really good. I like that model a lot.
So there was a guy who did I can't remember which figure it was the other day on Facebook, and he posted it, and he'd done the eyebrows. And the eyebrows really reminded me of the crazy guy from Cannonball Run. I didn't want to put a picture up in case I offended him. I only meant it, so I didn't bother. But you remember? Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Right, let me turn my light back on. I hope it's not blind, people. It's a bit bright, doesn't it? Dan says the Dol Guldur and Nazgul are some of my favourite models GW have ever done. Loved painting mine. Yeah, they are. They're really cool models. And Tanya says my new animations are very fancy. I know they're a little bit too fancy for top table. To be fair, I feel like a bit of an imposter. Really, it looks like I know what I'm doing. James says Empire with plenty of tanks and speeders and rebels with triple ATRTs and Mandos. Very cool. Are any of you guys into the Star Wars stuff? Are you fans of Star Wars in general? You know, would you consider painting any Star Wars minis, or is it not your bag or what?
Love a bit of Star Wars, but I'm not prepared to start another spending spree on them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with Ian. I'm not a sort of Star Wars geek, if you like, but I will watch them.
Yeah.
Closest I've got to painting in is when I repainted John's X-Wings for him. But that was pretty much as close as I got to it. I mean, I think Star Wars stuff is cool, but I'm not like...
Are you a fan of the movies?
Ultra into it.
Are you a fan of the movies, Angel?
Yeah, but I'm not going to remember quotes and shit like that. I'm not...
You're not really...
I don't think really. I'm invested enough in them. No, I like them. I'm just not a fangirl.
I was a massive Star Wars fan as like a kid. I loved Star Wars, and then didn't watch any of the movies for years and years and years, and then watched them and was really disappointed at how I didn't enjoy them as much as I did when I was a kid. Which is fair. I know that sounds fairly obvious, but they just didn't float my boat as much. And then the new ones came out, the Phantom Menace and all that, and I was really disappointed. But I really did like the is it Rogue One, and the last one they did with Luke Skywalker in, and then I like the Mandalorian series as well. I quite like those.
I love the Mandalorian. I love the artwork at the end credits.
Yeah, it's cool.
Quality.
I think they dragged it back. Where have I put my bloody Agrax? Someone's robbed me Agrax. There it is.
Steve Will Rabs just commented on the chat, and it was his Grima Wormtongue. Yes, I can confirm it was him. Will, do a search on on Google for Cannonball Run, and he's called Dr. Van Helsing. You'll see what I mean.
Eyebrows are something I very rarely attempt. I mean, eyes is one thing, but eyebrows is something else. I think I've done it on one or two models. I think I did it on Thorin because I think Thorin's eyebrows are quite a big feature of his face. And I think I might have done Thranduil, but Thranduil's are quite hard because he's like blonde, quite hard to see. But yeah, eyebrows are not something that I normally tackle.
I'm trying to remember if I put eyebrows on your Corsairs or not.
I don't know. I can't even check because they're in the studio.
I think I skipped putting eyebrows on them altogether.
It's just like you, that Angel, just cutting corners.
What were the Corsairs?
I can't remember. Angel? I'm sure I tried it on one and I was like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I think I've done the eyebrows on Thorin's company.
Yeah. They're great models to paint them, though. Really. Really enjoyable to paint. I painted that whole company in a week, and I had no intention. I think I only intended on painting 2 or 3 of the miniatures that I needed for the army that I was playing at a tournament at that time, and I painted the ones that I needed, and then I ended up I enjoyed painting that much. I just ended up painting the rest. They're great minis. Oh, it's scary, isn't it, putting a wash on things that you've just spent a lot of time painting. Or sponging, should I say.
Is that with the finger dabbers?
I've got the finger dabbers and I've got some sea sponges, and I've done a test on the 2 and I preferred the sea sponges. The finger dabbers were alright. They were alright.
But just alright.
Yeah, do you know what? If I wouldn't have got the sea sponges, I'd have been quite happy with the result I got from the finger dabbers. I think there wasn't a massive difference, if I'm totally honest. I think it's because the sea sponges are bigger, so you can get more done quicker.
More quicker. Yeah.
And I quite liked the non-uniformity of the pattern that comes out of a sea sponge, rather than a manufactured sponge, if that makes sense. So yeah. Let's have a look. Will Rab says, "Oh yeah, he's just asked that." He says he sees the resemblance. Dan says you need to get an oil washer, Steve. Yes, I've dabbled with them, Dan. I've dabbled with them. I've got everything I need. I've got all this. I've got my oil paints and I've got this stuff and my little pans to mix them in. I have dabbled. I used it for pin washes on my Space Wolves. And I do like them. But I have ordered... what's the brand? There's a solvent wash that I've ordered. I think it's one of the AK washes. It's supposed to be really good. So I'm going to give that a go.
What's an oil wash? I'm out of the loop on that one.
So it's basically, you know, like your Null Oil and your egg racks.
Magic.
Yeah.
Well, they're water based. So it's that, but it's oil based, and it just flows a lot easier and doesn't tend to pool like a water based one does. It'll drop into it'll be a lot more opaque in the creases and stuff like that, and transparent over the flat surfaces. It's just a little bit, yeah. It takes, when you're so used to using like acrylic based and water based products, it can take a little bit of getting used to, that I found. And I touched on it and I just didn't get back to it because of that reason. Not because I'm planning on not getting back to it. Just because I just didn't have time to try and train myself to use it, I suppose. But yeah, I do really like the effect you get from it. There's a guy called what's he bloody called? He's got a YouTube channel. Let me try and find it now. I'm not being rude, but I'll just go and find it so I know where I'm sending you. YouTube. Let me find it. He does a lot. He does a 40k model, Inquisitor or something. And he paints it really well. And then he says, right, I'm just going to slap this wash on it. And you're like, no, looks like he's ruined it. But then he cleans it off using like sponge pads, and it just looks amazing. Find this. God, I watched some crap. I'm not going to be able to find. Oh, here he is. No. Yeah. Ninjon.
Seeing his stuff actually.
YouTube, yeah, YouTube channel, Ninjon. Quite cool videos. And he used it on one of his videos. It was a collab he done with Goober Town, another YouTube channel. He painted an Inquisitor model, and it just, when he put the wash on at first, it just looks like he's ruined his paint job, and then it's like he wipes it off, and it just looks amazing. I'm nearly done with these. I'm gonna get this wash on. Still need to dry brush them, but I'll do that tomorrow when the wash is fully dry. A very light dry brush, I think, and they'll be funky dory. So yeah, I feel like very productive tonight, people. Let's have a look. Pete Morley, how's Easterling Army and any more painting vids coming out? Yes, so Easterling Army is doing all right. I've not painted any Easterlings for probably about just over a week, but I've been doing them in batches of 6. The plan is this weekend to get another 6 done, and when the army's done, I'll do an army showcase video. And painting tutorial videos, yes, there is plans to do them. Do some. I want to do something that people are going to have interest in. Don't just want to do a random painting tutorial video, if that makes sense. So kind of to put the effort into it, to get something back from it, it'll have to be kind of like the new hotness or something that ties into what we're doing on battle streams. But there's painting videos, painting series coming, which you will see Angel on, as well as 2 other guests, and hopefully you guys will get on board with that and join in, where we'll just be trying different techniques. So I mean, I'm looking forward to trying stuff like wet blending and stippling and things like that, because it's stuff that I've touched on but not done a lot of. I'm going to spend probably a couple of hours where we talk about how we're fine. The thought process behind it is, if there's 4 of us doing it and we're talking to each other whilst we're trying it for the first time or whatever, that we'll kind of be able to address the things that people will come across when they try it between the 4 of us. So you're obviously going to get that really like annoying person who just takes to it like a duck to water and goes, oh yeah, this is great, look at this, I've just painted this golden demon winning model in 2 hours, and you're like, you git. But then like you'll have people like me like, yeah, my wet blends are not working, my black's running into my greys and it looks crap. So we will hopefully we'll make the mistakes and be able to talk each other and guide each other through it, and make the mistakes that people will be making when they try it, and then they'll know how to rectify the mistakes that they've made, if that makes sense. I'm really crap at explaining stuff. I really shouldn't be a YouTuber, should I? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So yeah, there'll be more Easterling stuff coming, Pete, and definitely more painting videos. So some painting tutorials from me, and obviously that painting series, which is going to be really cool. Glyn says, so as we approach midway through February, when do you think meetup events will happen? I think back end of the year, mate, if I'm totally honest. It'll be back end of the year, I reckon. I don't think in time for summer, unfortunately. And like I said, I really hope I'm wrong, but just common sense tells me that, this is going to be and I would rather it be a slower process and know that when we come out of it, we don't have to go back into it again. I would rather it took its time, and then when it's done, rather than make knee-jerk reaction like what has happened with the government since it began, and we keep coming out of lockdown, going into lockdown, coming out of lockdown, because just the backwards and forwards is just driving me insane. I would rather stay in lockdown for a little bit longer and know that when it's over, so to speak, or sort of getting through it and coming out the other side.
It's all about the vaccine, mate, really.
Yeah, I was talking to Damien about it the other night after we streamed. I think we were up to about 3:30 just chatting away and just putting the world to rights. And saying when there's always going to be a risk now, because it's not going anywhere. It's here now, but it's when it becomes a acceptable risk is when normality will resume. And it's just getting
new normal. It's going to be like getting a flu jab.
Yeah, it's just, exactly.
I'm not comparing it to the flu, by the way. I'm not making that mistake. But, it's going to be, you're going to have to get potentially injected every year, certainly old people.
Yeah. We'll get there, won't we? I mean, I think we all thought we had 2021 was the year that some normality resumes. And I think it will be. I think there'll be some sort of normality resuming by the end of the year. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I don't think it's going to be in the next 3-4 months. I don't even think, like, everyone that I speak to is like, at least the kids can go back to school on the 8th of March. I don't think they will. I'd be surprised if the kids go back to school this year, like before, this school year. I'd be very surprised. I think that was the mistake that they made last time. I think sending the kids to school was why it flourished. Just that kids don't show the symptoms like adults do. That was the problem, I think. What do we know? Eh? What do we know?
Well, that's the main problem, isn't it? People just don't know enough. Yeah. It's such a big unknown. That's the
And that's the scary thing. And I think that's why, as much as it's frustrating and as much as it's affecting people in a negative way with mental health and physical health and everything else that comes with it, at the same time, we don't know, so we have to be careful.
I got it before Christmas. It's not nice.
Oh, have you had it?
Yeah. I was in bed. I was like, I didn't have it serious. I wasn't in hospital or anything. Yeah. I had one night where I couldn't breathe properly, but a few weeks later, I was having anxiety attacks.
Flipping heck, yeah. And
you don't want that.
And it affects everyone differently as well. That's another scary thing. There's a fella I was reading today I think he was in intensive care for like 3 months or something, and then he's out of intensive care now, but he's going to be pretty much using a ventilator for the rest of his life. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's scary stuff. Which is why I would rather. We're in lockdown now, and as crap as it is, we're here now. So I would rather sort of do our time, so to speak, and get it done and dusted, and sort of get it under control. But we'll see. We'll keep everything crossed. Where were we? Oh, that was Glenn's question. So yeah, I think the back end of the year for meeting up. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun when we can meet up. I'll be mithering everyone every 5 minutes. Let's go to Warhammer World. Yay.
I'm up for
that. Dan says he uses AK and MIG solvent washes and enamels. Yeah, I think they're the ones that I've ordered. Dan, I've ordered a few different types. They're so good for making stuff really dirty. Not so ideal for MESPG though. Stones work really well with an overall wash of oils, then knocking back with some solvent on a cotton bud. Yes, that's how I do a lot of my basing. Yeah, I've watched tons of videos on it. And like I say, it is. I can't can I reach them? My earphones won't fall out. So I've got a lot of these oil colour Winsor and Newton artist oil paints, and you mix them with this solvent Sansador from Winsor and Newton. It's backwards on my thing. And you make your washes out of it, make it very thin. But it's great for a pin wash. So on Space Marines, with all them little lines, just touching the line and just watching the oil just run into them lines is awesome. It just makes you feel like a great painter and you've not really done anything. Will says, I've been considering getting oil paints because people do World War II tanks with them, and the detail and the weathering you can get is just absolutely insane. So I want to try it for my bolt action. Just try it, mate. Just get a few and try it. I've got all sorts of crap that I've tried over the years and tried once and it's not agreed with me and it's just sat around, but it's there one day if I ever need it. Ruth says, night all, thanks for the company. Good night, Ruth, thanks for joining us. I hope you and Sean are well. Scott says, hey guys, can you suggest a good flock for a Pelennor Fields board? I always go with I mix. I never go with one flock on. I don't think on any board that I've made when I've flocked it. I don't think I've ever just gone like one.
Looks more natural when you mix it.
Yeah, I just always mix. But with Pelennor Fields, I think you want a lot of the light browns and the yellowy types. I think would look nicer. But with a lot of like patches of no flock, with like little rocky outcrops and dry soil areas. Use a lot of weathering powders and stuff like that. I think would look pretty cool. Have any of you guys, have you done much flocking, Rich? You seem to be into your terrain building.
I think I've got some of the old GW ones from years ago still.
Yeah.
Which I'm working my way through.
Yeah. I remember. Do you remember when they brought out the Realm of Battle board, the tiles, and they sold a basing pack for that, and it come with a massive bottle of Bestial Brown and the biggest bag of static grass that you've ever seen in your life. I've still got that bag, and I've probably used it on about 8 boards, numerous bases for armies, and I'm not even a quarter of the way through it. They just give you way too much. But it's a great colour. It's like a mix of it's got reds, browns, yellows, greens in it. It's great. But I think for Pelennor Fields, you want that kind of dry grass look, don't you? You want the yellows, yellow and browns, autumnal type, light colours.
Play sand as well is good.
Yeah.
Fine play sand.
Yeah, definitely. Or my favourite, and everyone takes the mick out of me, chinchilla dust. Best stuff ever.
Oh yeah, I use that.
Best stuff ever. How good is that, Angel?
Yeah, I like it. When I realised, I discovered it by accident, by the way, because I had a hamster at the time. And when I realised, I was like, oh, this stuff is cheap.
Yeah.
I've hit the jackpot here. I'll just use this from now on.
It's amazing.
It's great.
The good thing about it as well, you can just put it on as base. It's like a really fine sand and just use it as a fine sand base. But if you mix it with PVA, you can kind of mould it into shapes. So you can get if you want it to have like a desert base, you can make like the ripples in the sand with it if you mix it with PVA. It's really good stuff. I've mentioned it a few times on a few of the streams, and people just start laughing at me. Chinchilla dust.
Is it made from chinchillas?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, you've got to catch at least 10 of them. You put them in a blender. and then put it in the oven to dry out, and then you've got people talk about the oil washes, I think. Will says he feels like his painting abilities at the minute are a bit stagnant. Again, I think we all get a little bit like that from time to time. When I'm feeling like that, I tend to challenge myself and do something different. Like the other day when I decided to do the flesh faces, not using any flesh paints, just using blue, yellow and red. And I try something, and I think when you try something new, you're going to get some sort of success from it because you've never done it before. So you're going to achieve something, even if
you learn.
Yeah, you're going to achieve something. I think you get like a bit of a buzz from that. And the first one I did wasn't great, but through the mistakes that I made with it, I knew that I could do better. So it makes you go, right, now I'm going to try it again. Do you know what I mean?
I daren't do this. I might just leave it green.
The banner?
Yeah.
Did you not?
I think that's the scariest thing in Middle Earth.
Well,
is that
have you not seen
banner.
I done a video ages ago.
I've watched it
with the transfers.
Yeah.
Just do transfers, mate. Just do transfers. It's easy. Make your own transfers.
Yeah.
Make your own transfers. Dead easy. Dead easy.
The painting effect that I recently tried was sort of moonlight and firelight.
Yeah.
Coming from the different angles, and with the hunter hawks. And I just blasted them from both sides. And the sculpts are that good; it just makes it work.
Yeah. If you've got like quite a bit of what's the word, texture on the sculpt, if there's a lot to it, you get them little shadows and stuff. It'll look awesome. It will look awesome. But Will says that's horrid. I think that's about cooking chinchillas and making modelling compound out of it. Gaten says, when are the terrain school vids coming? Soon. I keep saying soon. It all. Let me tell you, I'll be totally straight with you. It all revolves around me being able to get in the studio and film. So the first episode is half filmed. It's quite basic, rocky outcrop with it. I thought for the first video, I want to do a video that's got a little bit of everything. So anyone who wants to go along with it can try it and think, oh, do you know what? Actually, I can do that. I didn't realise I could. Or, yeah, I've just done that rock and it looks great. And I've just done that little bit of flocking and that looks good. Or and I've put a tree on and it looks good. So the first episode is like a rocky outcrop with a little bit further than a rocky outcrop. It's got like a little bit of natural stuff on there as well. And I've half done it, but I can't get into the studio to film. I can get, and I've took a lot of the stuff out of the studio now, so there's a lot of lights and stuff. I mean, I know you can see a step ladder behind me here, which is actually, funnily enough, the reason that step ladder is I don't know if you can see what's on this each step. I bought off wish.com, you know, the sound dampening sponge tile things.
Yeah.
For the studio, because I get a lot of echo in the studio. But when they come, they're like in a package that big. That's got 24 tiles in it, so they've like sucked all the air out of it, and then I've had to open them and just put them on the rungs of the thing so that they can expand out and grow back. So I'm going to be going to the studio, but all the lights and cameras are here now, so that series cannot start till I can get back in the studio and film, unfortunately. So that's why I started doing the other stuff, the painting bits and bobs. So yeah, so lockdown's been a bit of a pig for everything. Especially my plans for doing videos. Glyn says, banners can do one, I feel for you, Ian. Just transfers, man. Nobody's got time to paint a Triagon door 16,000 times. I just haven't got time for that. Just transfers. JTJ says, evening folks, after a long time off I decided to give miniature war games another chance. Best decision ever. Preparing another by fire and sword battle. Thank you all for your great videos. Thank you for watching, man, and it's good to hear so many people have got back into either painting or wargaming through lockdown. Lockdown's not all been negative. I think you can take some positives from it. I think it's kind of made people stop and slow down a little bit and realise, you know, there's more to life than just got to work, coming home, got to work. You know, money. There's more to life than that. So yeah, that's good to hear, pal. What's preparing another by fire and sword battle? I don't know what that game is. Have you heard of that game, guys? By fire and sword.
Nope.
I'm going to Google it now.
It's his YouTube channel or something.
What was it? I thought it was a game. Preparing
I don't know.
by fire. I'll search it anyway. By fire and sword. Historical war game. There you go.
Oh, okay.
By fire and sword. Realistic player war game recreates the 17th century wars fought by the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth against Turkey, Muscovy, Sweden, Cremerian, Canante, Cossacks. That's cool. I do like a lot of the historic miniatures. But the games always seem like they're very like heavy in the sense that there's a lot of minis involved and stuff like that. That's the only thing.
Perry Twins went into it, didn't they? Their miniatures are all historical stuff, and I love their sculpts. So
yeah, I still buy some of their stuff now. I bought a load of their. I think there was like Russian peasants or something like that I used as proxies for Lake Town Militia. You know, just to add in and mix it up a little bit. And they worked really well, because I mean it was them guys that sculpted the originals anyway.
Steve, when you read Glyn's chat, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the A team.
About the what?
The A team. BA.
Oh right, okay. Quick question, Steve. What's the TTG Facebook stance on BA? Bolt action, he means. Bolt action. I will post images of my SS on bases from cut up plastic sprues, but some have the dreaded flag on their uniforms. All I'll say, Glyn, is I'm happy for you to pop it up, but at the end of the day, it's an open forum and there's a lot of people. If anyone does report it, I'd have to take it down. That's what I'd say. I don't think anyone would. You know, it's a World War II game. I don't think anyone would have an issue with it. But if they did, we don't want to upset anyone. But I'm happy for you to post them, mate, and we can just sort of play it by ear, if that's all right with you, my friend. But yeah, Facebook's a bit funny about pulling things like that as well. But yeah, pop it up. We'll see what happens.
As long as you don't have like an image where you're sat in your World War II bunker and there's loads of memorabilia around you.
Yeah, as long as you've not got knee-high patent boots on in your profile picture, you'll be all right, Glenn. Will's asking, how often do we do these Patreon live chats? This is the first one that I've done. This is the first one that I've done where we've actually streamed. So normally when I do these, I say normally, I think we've only done two. The Patreon chats are something that I want to do more regular, where if you're a Patreon, we just hang out, and it's not a stream, it's not me hosting anything, it's just patrons hanging out and hobbying, because it's quite hard for me to hobby when I'm reading through the chat as well. But I want to do them more often, and I think once every 4 to 6 weeks would be a nice way for me to also get to know the patrons a little bit better, because it's these guys that make all this possible. I mean, look at my fancy new overlay. It's amazing. It's amazing. Ian did that. But yeah, I do want to do it. As a lot of you know, there was like a big transition around early December time on the channel, like huge. So everything went kind of up in the air, and everything's sort of like just settling again now, and I'm finding my feet with things, and I've had a lot of help. Angel being one of the Facebook admins with Mr. Matt Woods have helped me out with the Facebook, because the Facebook group has just exploded, which is great. And do you know what's surprising about the Facebook group? It's exploded. There's loads of people in there now, and it's still a really cool place to hang out, and I don't think I've ever had to tell anyone off. The worst thing I've had to do is I've actually deleted today just a few of them sort of posts that I don't think they're from a person. You know, they try to sell stuff and like just weird posts, like how to remove hair off your toenails and stuff like that. It's like, you know, them weird kind of things. So
what's weird about that?
Yeah. How do you do that?
Ian sat there thinking, I thought someone deleted me.
Wrong group.
But no, other than that kind of stuff, it's quite easy. It kind of runs itself, and no one like is horrible to each other, which is great, because it is Facebook and it is the internet, which is quite hard to avoid. And we don't mind people sharing stuff, but we try to keep it on Tuesdays. The Check Me Out Tuesdays thing was for that, just so that the page doesn't get bombarded with Kickstarter links and links to this and that, the other, and you know, all that malarkey. Which I personally don't mind it, but I want the group to focus on the people in the group and what they're up to and what they're doing, and keep the chat flowing. And we just don't want it to don't want to lose that, so we try and keep that to a Tuesday. So Angel and Matt helping out with the Facebook group, and then Angel also looks after Twitter and Insta, and is doing an amazing job. Twitter and Instagram have never been as popular for Top Table as it is at the moment. So Angel's doing an awesome job with that, which is great. The other thing is the giveaway at the end of the month. We've got that to come, so I'm going to be doing another push.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing another push for that next week.
Mega.
That's
mega,
mate. It's mega. I'm going to be doing another video and a push for that next week, and then I'm not going to do anything else until the live draw. And I think Angel, you're picking the winner, aren't you?
Am I? Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah, we'll get Angel to pick the winner. So Angel will definitely, I think, make someone's year. We've all had a pretty grim year, haven't we? And I think someone's going to be
hang on a minute.
over the moon.
Does that mean I'm going to have to tally all the Facebook ones too?
Oh yeah. No, I'll send you.
Cheers, mate.
I'll send you a document with all the names in. I have been keeping.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I've been keeping abreast of that. So yeah, I'll send you all that towards the end. But yeah, it'd be good.
I haven't.
Yeah, you better pull your finger out, Angel. Pull your finger out.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll do it this weekend.
Yeah. I've heard all that before. Yeah. So Will, so the Patreon live chat. Sorry, I always branch off. Patreon live chats. I'm hoping once the dust settles properly on everything, and we're back to normal, I'll be doing a chat with all the patrons probably once every 4 to 6 weeks. But this has been quite cool, so I think this could be something that, not every stream or every other stream, but every now and again, I think I'll get some of the patrons on, whoever wants to join in. Not everyone wants to be on camera. Obviously, Ian and Rich and Angel, they love it. They love the attention. They're just, this is like the next Big Brother and everything.
I'm hoping it's going to kickstart my modelling career.
Yeah. Can I just say, I didn't realise we were on YouTube.
Yeah, neither did I. I joined in. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have another Patreon chat,"
well,
and then I was like, "Oh, I'm on YouTube." Okay.
Yeah, I was glad I was quite reserved when I joined.
But no, it's been fun, and it's a little bit easier for me to do it. Like when I've got someone who talks back. It's quite good. So yeah, I'll probably do this quite often as well. This has been quite cool. Because not everyone's going to be into it. Not everyone wants to be on YouTube, which is fine. But we'll do the private Zoom calls, which don't get streamed out either, where we're just hanging out and drinking beer and painting and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Angel might be prepping models there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, it's working.
I decided.
It's working.
I decided to take the Nazgul out of the box,
Nice.
and so now I'm busy getting rid of mold lines and extra flashing and stuff, and then I'll wash them.
Yeah. Because that Forge World resin, it's full of that. What do they call it?
Poop.
Yeah. What is it they call it? What's it called? The stuff that you spray on it, stop it sticking to the molds.
I don't know.
I forget the name of it. Someone will tell me in the chat.
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, someone will tell me. Stops the paint sticking to it though.
I'm going to have to push off.
Yeah.
But it's been great.
Yeah, it was great to actually meet you in person, Rich, and thank you very much for all your support. And hopefully you'll see Rich more often, and I'll see you, mate, in the Patreon chat that we're going to have soon, where we can drink.
Yeah, cool.
Talk about shaving our hair with swords and axes.
Toenails, yeah.
Axes.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining us, man. So everybody say bye to Rich.
I'm going to dial off as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're all going.
It's just not the same without Rich.
Oh.
I'll see you later, Rich.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Take care, man.
Cheers.
All right. Pleasure talking, Steve. And
have fun.
to you guys. Take care.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
guys.
See you.
Take care, man. Release agent, Angel. That's what it is. Release agent.
Yeah, that stuff.
I think it was something really. I forget words, sometimes. James says, for my Boromir flag...
I've been having troublesome time this week.
No. James says, for his Boromir flag, he lightly penciled the tree on and then painted over. It was much quicker and got a decent result. I'm definitely going to make a transfer for gaming mind. Yeah, I doff my cap to anyone who freehands like banners, but to be honest, I haven't got time for that. I'll just do a transfer. I also have British Commonwealth, which are safe, says Glyn. Post what you want, Glyn. Post what you want. Like I say, it's not gonna affect me. I don't think it's gonna upset anyone. But if it does, then obviously we'll take it down. That's all. That's all I'll say. We can, wait. Can you link me that? Says Will. Which did you need us to link you to, Will? I can't remember what we were talking about. Glyn says, cheers, and yes, I fully understand if it needed taking down. Also got German Wehrmacht and Fallschirmjäger. Is that it? I can never say that word. People saying see you to the boys. Glyn says, I didn't wash my Wardens of Gondor and they are now built. Just drop them in a cup with water and a dash of fairy liquid. And then use a paint. Like I've got loads of these, like pound shop paintbrushes, just to go over them so you don't damage them, and you'll be fine. But yeah, I think what we've been going 2 hours 20 minutes. Angel, do you think we should call it?
Have we?
Yeah, 2 hours 20 minutes.
Oh bloody hell!
Got work in the morning.
I know it took me that long to actually get back onto hobby.
I know. Are you going to carry on now though? After the stream, are you going to carry on prepping?
No, because I have to wake up at 5 o'clock.
I know, it's grim, isn't it? It is grim.
But Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll crack on.
Going to get them done.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'll just give a last few shout outs on people who have just joined us. Hajinder Singh says, have you ever used Jarvis or Woodland Scenic Fine Turf? Looking for a grass texture for bases, but I don't want to use the static grass as it looks too long and messy. I know exactly what you mean. And I use Woodland Scenic's flock, and it's great. The Fine Turf is fantastic. I use the Fine Turf, and then I'll use like the next one up. I can't remember what it's called now. For like little tiny sort of bushy areas, and that's quite nice as well. Highland Thayron says, this is great hobbying background chat. That's the point. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And Will Rab is telling me how to pronounce Fallschirmjäger. There you go. Fallschirmjäger. There you go. Said it. Smashed it, mate. Completed it.
It's literally what I was just thinking.
I think we'll call it there, Angel. I think we'll say our goodbyes, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on a Thursday night. I did go a little bit over. I was planning on doing a couple of hours. I did get hobby done that I plan to get done, which is very unlike me. So I'm over the moon. I'm going to dry brush those tomorrow, and I think they're going to look great. I'm really happy with them. I've not done that one. And then I'm also going to do tomorrow this part, and the steps and the 2 griffin things that sit on them plinths. And that's them done. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Glyn says, a good stream, great effort from Angel, Ian and Rich. Yes, it was. It's great to have other people on. Dan says, first one of these. Good job, Steve. Thanks, Dan. Look forward to seeing you in the next one, and I will take you up on your offer, I think, of when that model comes out. Shrim is not pronounced shum, says Frederick. Shrim is not pronounced shum. Frederick. Oh, right. Okay, I'm with you. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher it again. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to say goodnight, and I'll see you again in a video very, very soon. I'll see you at the weekend. I think I'm streaming at the weekend. So take care, and until then, good night. Do you want to say anything, Angel? Want to say good night?
Night.
Good night, people.